time. So now talking about Titan, yes, I think one can make an entry into this counter, but on the lower side, that is at around 3,000. 20 or 3,000 odd levels. I think that is the good level to make entry into this counter because I'm positive on this counter because the guidance which the management has maintained regarding the EBIT is intact. In fact, they have shown the steady performance and we are also seeing the rise in the gold prices. So everything is working in favor of Titan at this moment of time. Quite optimistic on this counter. The only thing is that just buy on dip strategy can be adopted, then it is a better choice for the price target of 3,300 to 3,350 at the initial levels.
Okay, let's very quickly also get Swati to give us a technical view on Titan because from what I can see, it's very close to that 52-week low, right? So what are the key levels to watch at this juncture? Would you also suggest on the technicals it's a good opportunity to buy?
Alex, you have rightly pointed out that this counter is trading nearby the 52-week low, and 52-week low is at around 29.85 levels. But if you look towards the another parameters on the technical front, such as the averages or the momentum indicators, such as the RSI, it's still on a downward side. So I believe we might retest that particular 52-week low once again, and beyond that, more levels can be seen on the downside. So as Astha has also suggested to buy on deep strategy can be applied. So I will suggest wait for some point of time, let the stock settle down at 29.80 or 29.50 levels. That will be the very attractive level to take a long positions. But if you don't want to miss rally on the higher side, at least 20-30% can be recommended at the current market price. So you can buy 20-30%, but not the full-fledged buying. We are looking for a target of at least 3,200 from here onwards.
Okay, and conservative target at that for Titan company. Let's get our caller in. We've got Mohan calling us from Telangana. Hi Mohan, good morning. How can we help you today?
Good morning, sir. Very good morning, sir. Sir, I have a question that Anantraj Limited.
Okay.
So I'm having 100 shares and I bought for 600 rupees.
Okay.
So now it is quoting on 500 rupees.
Yes.
So I am in 10,000 net loss.
Okay.
So what can I do now? Can I purchase some more or for the average?
Okay.
Or what I have to do?
Understood. Can you help me with what the thinking was, Mohan? Did you plan to buy this for the short term, for short-term gains or for the long term?
No, it is for long term only.
Okay. Asa, I'm coming to you on Anantraj. What's the view fundamentally on this particular counter? 600 was the buy price, currently trading just shy of 500.
Yes. So talking about this counter, the results which they have shown for the Q3 of FY25 were on the decent side. So, and in fact, they have completed various projects and the project pipeline is also seems to be strong. I think this counter can move upwards, in the coming days. So it's better to hold this counter and we are quite optimistic for the Q4 of FY25 results. Why? Because they have completed certain projects related to Birla, Navia, etc. So I think definitely the financial performance will reflect those completion of the projects also. And in that way, we are positive on this counter. Here, the cost price is high, so it will take some time, I suppose. But better to hold this counter rather than exiting. Hold is the strategy from our side. Initial price target, which we would like to give, is at around 550 to 580 odd levels.
That's the view with respect to Anantraj. The next counter that we're talking about is IDBI Bank. Sheila from Karnataka is holding 4,500 shares at a price of 80. And she's sitting on a loss of 32,000 odd rupees. And she wants to know whether she should hold or exit at the current level. Swati, what's the view like?
Ma'am, I will suggest to hold on this particular counter because as of now we are witnessing some sort of a reversal into this particular counter. The stock is just under the consolidation phase within the range of 65 to 75. Any move above 75 level will clear its downtrend and will continue its uptrend, which might take a counter towards to 80 to 85 levels. So I will suggest to hold on at the current market price and wait for the target of 80 to 85 levels on the high side.
Okay, all right. So that's the view on IDBI Bank on the charts. Stock is up about 0.8%. If I'm not mistaken, it's given up some of those gains. Pull up the intraday chart and I just want to see if it has come off. And it is okay. So it's holding on more or less. Dixon Tech is what we're talking about next. Shweta is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi Shweta. Good morning. How can we help you today?
Hi Alex and Mahima. Good morning.
Good morning.
Firstly, I would like to say you both are my favorite duo in NDTV.
Thank you so much.
Which the positive energy you bring to the show is really appreciable, and we missed you in last week for a couple of sessions in our project.
Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Shweta. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my question is regarding Dixon Technologies.
Okay.
And I have 11 shares bought at 15,210. I would like to know whether I should average it or should I shift to some amber, PG or gains in the same.
Okay. What is the time frame that you have in mind, Shweta? Is this a long-term
I
fundamental?
can hold it for 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah,
Okay,
1 year.
okay. So let me go to Swati on this one then. You are incurring a loss. You bought at 15,200, slightly elevated levels. But at the same time, we have been in the recent past been speaking about these EMS players positively, right? Some of them making a bit of a comeback. So therefore, Swati, on the charts, what should the strategy be?
Yeah, on the Dixon technology from the last 2 years, we have seen a very strong rally on the technical front from almost 7,500 to 17,000 levels. So as of now, we are witnessing some sort of profit bookings, and the stock is likely to continue such kind of a fall in the near term as well. So whatever the rally we witnessed on the higher side, it might be a short-lived because the longer term horizon charts doesn't look that much attractive to take a long positions at the current market price. I will suggest to wait for a time being. If the stocks find out a support nearby 12,500, 12,000 level, up to that level, I believe that a correction might be seen in the near-term futures. So if you're finding any support nearby 12,500 to 12,000 levels, at that point of time, you can take a average it out on the lower levels. Upside, we can see that if the stock manages to give the breakout of 14,400, then only we can see some uptick rally in this particular stock, which might take a counter towards to 15,500 to 16,000 levels. So at the current levels, my view is a little bit cautious. Don't take a long position at the current market price. Hold on for some period of time, and buy on dip strategy should be applied.
All right. So take a position from a short-term perspective, and buy on dips should be your strategy for Dixon Tech, is the view coming in from Swati. Arjun from Bangalore is asking that he has Praj Industries bought at the levels of 650. 40 shares he's holding, and he's planning to hold this for the next 3 years. What's the view like, Astha? From a 3-year perspective, do you think Praj Industries is placed well?
Yes, sure. Because first of all, I mean, our long-term prospects are definitely high for this counter, and in the long term, we are expecting this counter to move till the level of 600. So, what was the problem behind, not very good performance in past few days or months by this counter is that their order execution is very slow, and that is the major reason that we have seen that the growth has been deferred due to the slowdown in the order execution. But what I believe that going ahead, as their order book has improved, their order inflow has improved, although slowness is there in the execution, but now order inflow has improved. So definitely that will help the company in posting good set of financial numbers going ahead. So idea here is to stay invested in this counter. As I have said previously, 600 are those targets which we are setting for this counter at the initial.
Ruchika from Gurgaon has written in, and she wants to hear Mahima sing a song. Actually, no, she's not saying that. She's saying that she is a big fan of the show. Thank you so much for those kind words. She's also got a question of TVS on TVS Holdings, and she says that she's got a buy price of 13,300, in which she's incurring a significant loss, therefore, of about 38% or thereabouts at this juncture. The stock is up and about today, 2.5% or so, but she's wondering what the perspective should be at this point. And since she's not mentioned a time frame, I'm going to go back to Swati on this one. Swati, holding company, TVS Holding, I'm not sure about the volumes, but what's the perspective on the charts?
Yeah, Alex, as of now, we can see that a short-term view is definitely cautious, but a long-term view can be a positive, because whatever the rally we have seen from the 2023 from almost 6,000 levels to 14,000, if we draw the retracement purpose, the stock manages to take a very strong ratio, support of the 61.8%, which we consider as a golden ratio. Now the support falls at around 8,050 and so levels, and we have seen that this month counter has touched the feet of 8,070, and from there onwards we have seen a very good bounce back rally, which indicates that the stock is taking a very strong supports of the retracements, and we are witnessing some sort of a reversal. So at the current level, you can definitely average it out because the risk reward ratio is really favorable. Upside, I'm looking for a target back towards to 9,200 to 10,000 levels on the higher side. So that you can go for a long position. Means I am saying average it out can be done at the current market price. Slowly and steadily, it will move up towards to at least 10,000 levels. So my view for a longer term horizon is positive.
All right, view from longer term horizon is positive for TVS Holding where charts are concerned. Moving on to the next caller, Vijay Kishore is calling in. A very good morning to you, Vijay. I believe you have a question on Jupiter Wagons.
Yeah. Presently, I'm holding 1112 shares, ma'am.
Okay.
An average of 366.56.
Okay.
Current loss is 7,852.85.
Right.
Should I average or should I sell?
Okay, so you bought Jupiter Wagons seeing the charts, Vijay, or did you see the fundamentals of the company?
Yeah, fundamentals.
Fundamentals. So you want a long-term view?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take your question with Astha. Astha, what's the view like for Jupiter Wagons from a long-term perspective?
So long term seems to be good for this counter, and I recommend holding this counter for the longer term point of view. Talking about the kind of numbers company have presented, it was all an average numbers. But in fact, I think going ahead, definitely the financial performance will going to improve on the basis of the orders, etc. And in fact, I think the industry tailwind will also be there, and it will help the company in posting good numbers in the future ahead. So yes, a hold is a strategy from our side for this.
Rahul is calling us from Mumbai. Hi Rahul, thanks so much for calling us. How can we help you today?
Hey, hi team. My question is regarding the Birlasoft.
Okay.
Actually, I have 135 shares of Birlasoft and the average price is 624. I'm a long-term investor, so just wanted to know what is the next I can do on it.
Okay, what was the thinking when you bought the stock? You bought it at elevated levels, relatively speaking, 624. And so you say that you bought it based on the fundamental story. What did you like about this company?
So basically, it has a growth around 14-15%, and that time size was like 20-30% down from the top. So that's why I brought it. Yes.
Okay, all right. So it seems like you've looked at the performance of the share price or the movement of the share price and decided to buy. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so let me then go to Swati on the price movement just to give you a sense of what the longer term charts are suggesting. 624 is the buy price, 396 is the current market price. What should the strategy be, Swati?
Yeah, Alex, the client has already specified it. If you're looking towards the past correction, at the current levels, the price is really good to take a long positions for a longer term horizon, not for a 3 to 6 month asset. For more than 1 year, if you hold this particular counter, definitely it will give a very good result. On the technical front, we might witness more downfall towards to 380 and so levels, because I believe that the counter is trading nearby the oversold zone. We will witness some sort of a price consolidation, then we will get a breakout in the near term futures. At the current level, I will not suggest to average it out. If the stocks finds a very good support nearby the 380 to 370 levels, at that levels you can definitely average it out. I'm looking for a short term target will be a 440. Beyond that level, 520 can be seen. So for the longer term horizon, you can definitely take a buy call on a mentioned dips level.
All right, so that's the view with respect to Birlasoft. Vijay Kirti from Tamil Nadu is holding 400 shares of Container Corporation, bought at 1060 per share, and she wants to know whether she should sell, hold, or he wants to know whether he should sell, hold, or average out. Astha, what's the view like?
So regarding Container Corporation, I believe it's better to hold this counter. Don't sell it as at this point of the time. So now, what are the major reasons behind the weak earnings? I think that is the weak EXIM, which we can say that has hurt the earnings. And in fact, the depreciation was lower. So in that way, the profitability was looking to be okay. So here the depreciation helps the profitability, not the operating performance. So I think that was a major reason that this counter has not performed so strongly because of the weak set of numbers. But going ahead, I think this counter can improve financial performance wise, and hence we are recommending hold on this counter with the initial price target of 700 to 720.
Okay, All right, so that's the view on Concor, 700 to 720. And I noticed both of you are giving more conservative targets on your recommendations. I think that is the symptom of the times. You don't want to stick your neck out too far, and I completely understand that, appreciate that. All right, viewers, do bear in mind that even the experts are saying be cautious in this kind of a market. Jose is calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Jose. How can we help you today?
Hi, Alex. Good morning. I have Indigo shares, which is I bought about a few months back at a price of around 4,000.55.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know if I should hold on to it or should I book profit?
Okay, so help me understand the thesis when you bought the stock, Jose. I'm assuming that you bet on this stock because it's a leader in the domestic aviation market and it is gaining market share, it is holding market share, and it has very good metrics, right? So is this the fundamental basis that you bought the stock, or is it the price performance?
Yeah, so when I bought the share based on fundamentals, I bought it, but it was for a short-term thing price. When I saw that it was, during one of the shows, multiple times it was showed that it will hit about around 20%. So,
got it. Okay, so I will still, you know what, because you bought it based on the fundamentals, I will still go to Astha just to give you a sense of how things are looking. And Astha, it's an interesting question because some part of the positivity on Interglobe has been baked into the price. You know, this whole conversation about the Kumbh and the impact on airfares and how, the air traffic going up. We recently saw updates from these airports were saying that 12-13% growth in air traffic in the last month or so. It's looking strong, and crude oil prices are muted as well, around that $70 per barrel mark for Brent crude. That's also positive. So things working in Interglobe's favor. Would you say take money off the table right now or wait?
I would suggest to wait for the price target of 5,000 first of all. Now talking about this counter, 62% market share as it is a market leader, and they have a cost efficient fleet with a very strong balance sheet. That is, they are highly positive on the cash side. In fact, now what is the positive and what looks to be good for this counter is that they are increasing their penetration in the international markets as well. So I think looking after all these factors, I still believe that this counter has potential to move more from here, and hence I'm giving a price target of 5,000 at the current level. So remain invested in this counter.
Okay, we have to slip in a very quick break. Jose, I hope that answered your question. 5,000 is the price target that Astha has on Interglobe Aviation. Astha, Swati, do stay with us. Viewers as well, do stay with us and keep your questions ready. We'll be back on the other side to take all of them.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit Conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breathing also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and it continues to be a great morning for the Indian equity markets. We're holding on to gains of over 1% for the Nifty 50, and we're trading above that 22,700 mark. Keep a close eye on that mark. And the broader market's looking sanguine as well. The mid-cap index gaining about 1.3%. The small-cap index up about 1.75%. We've got our next caller for the day. We've got Abhi calling us from Kolkata. Hi, Abhi. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
I've got 10,000 quantity of Northern Art Capital bought at 173.37.
Okay.
I'm willing to hold it for like the next 1 year or maybe even 2 years, as well.
Okay, so your voice is not coming through very well. Kolkata is pretty far away on the other side. It should have been better though, considering that mobile technology has improved considerably. Your question is on Northern Arc. 10,000 shares is what you have. 173 is the buy price. You can hold for 1 year. Unfortunately, it's not been listed long enough for me to go to Swati on the charts. So let me go across to Asta on the fundamentals. NBFC, would you hold on to this, and what is the rationale?
So I would like to say that yes, partially hold this counter because yes, now the issue price is 263 and it the IPO came in September, I suppose. So it is a NBFC with a diversified platform, and in fact at the time when the issue came, price to book multiple was at around 1.4x. But the problem with this counter is their weak financial performance in the Q3 of FY25 because they have shown 10% of degrowth in their bottom line. So the main issue revolves around the degrowth factor in the bottom line, and that is what the markets are not liking. And we are seeing this counter falling below the issue price. Idea here is to exit partially because I'm still not very much optimistic on this counter, but remain invested in the partial quantity. And one can go for other NBFCs for the sake like Bajaj Finance or Bajaj Finserv, that too on the dips. So I think it's better to partial book losses and exit from this counter and invest in other NBFCs.
Invest in other NBFCs. I must point out that Mahima is making fun of my bad jokes, and she said that.
I said that I'm going to ask Astha and Swati to rate your jokes from now.
Okay, so here's the thing. You guys can tell me. I know that I'm making some terrible jokes right now, and it's not like it's scripted or anything. It comes out that way. But sometimes the jokes are good. You got to admit, sometimes the jokes are good, and both of you are smiling, so I'll take that as a good sign. But having said that, Mahima says that, well, whatever helps me sleep at night. So it's okay. It's fine. I can take it. The criticism is warranted. I will appreciate that.
All right. But my rating surely is going to be disappointing you, so I'm not going to do that on air. But okay, moving on to the next query. Raja Gopalan from Chennai is wanting to know whether it's a good time to buy MSTC because it has posted excellent set of numbers and he's looking for a longer term, say 2 to 3 years. Asa, I'll stick with you. What's the view like for MSTC?
Yes, if I talk about the numbers which the viewer has also pointed out, yes, it was an exceptional rise of around 500% in the bottom line. But here I would like to draw the attention, the numbers are not exceptional. Why? Because there was an exceptional item of 275 crore. So if I delete that item of 275 crore, then the profit seems not to be very strong as it is looking right now on the papers as of now. So on that basis, if anyone want to make entry, then I would say please don't make entry on that basis because numbers are good, but not that good as due to the high exceptional income. So right now, my idea is whether if anyone has already made the entry, then remain invested. But for making a fresh entry, it's better to wait for some time. Let the Q4 FY25 numbers come and then make an entry.
Okay. Astha, I noticed that you avoided giving me a rating on my jokes, but that's fine. It's okay. I understand. The no rating is also an answer. Rajan is calling.
She's maintained a neutral stance.
I want to tell you one thing. If you bring smile on anyone's face, so no matter how the joke is, I think it always keep environment lively and positive vibes always float around. So no matter what the kind of joke is, but please, I have no issues with your joke.
So she's still not saying that your jokes are nice, Alex. Just FYI.
Okay. Let's go back to the markets now. Let's go back to the markets. Rajan, and I can admit this is a loss. All right. Rajan is calling us from Mumbai. Hi Rajan, how can we help you today?
Alex sir, once again lucky enough to talk to you.
My pleasure.
I am having I hold ITC shares since last 15 years, so I got 10 ITC hotels with the demerger. Then I purchased some around 490 shares, making it a total of 500, say around 160. Okay. Now I am having a liquid cash of around 1,50,000. So can I invest more because of the promoter's credibility? And I'm a long-term investor, specifically for 3 to 5 years. Please advise from both the panelists.
Rajan, I just want to clarify. This is a question on ITC or is it a question on ITC hotels?
ITC hotels.
Okay. So you were a long-term investor in ITC, you got allocation in ITC hotels and you intend to invest more in ITC hotels.
Exactly. I have a liquid cash of 1,50,000. So can I would like to put the entire thing for another 3 to 5 years. So is it advisable or I just want this thing?
Okay, got it. Astha, on the fundamentals, obviously, ITC hotels, from the hotels pack, and there are quite a few now to choose from, would you select a couple of stocks in this space or would you put all your money in one hotel?
No, I would not like put all my money in one hotel because first of all, it has got recently, it is recently debuted and at the price of around 180 or 188, if I remember it correctly. So from there, we have not seen much of movement in the stock prices, right? Now they have got a very good balance sheet. It's a debt-free balance sheet. In fact, their expansion plans are also very good because they are planning to add around 5,000 plus rooms in our coming 4 to 5 years. So strong expansion plan with a very good brand name. But the only thing is that it is at the very initial stages to decide upon that whether to put entire money into this counter. So idea here is we have other hotels like Indian Hotel. In fact, I'm very much positive on the Indian Hotel as of now. So put 30% of your allocation in the ITC hotel, but don't put the entire 100% in one hotel. So if you want to look after other counters in the same space, then Indian hotel is also looking very good to us. So idea here is just put 20 to 30% at the initial level, let the results come, and we can make a entry into this counter. At that time, we must be very much sure because it has recently debuted. So better to wait for some more time. Don't put your entire money into this counter.
All right, wait and watch till the results come out for ITC hotels, and Indian hotels also looking nice as per Astha. The next question that we have is from Dinesh, who's from Gurgaon. He wants to know so he's already invested in Vedanta. He's holding around 310 shares at 405, and he wants to know the right price to add more and average out. And his time horizon is for 3 months. So Swati, I'll come to you. What are the charts saying about Vedanta?
Now we are witnessing a very good momentum into the metal pack, Mahima, and I believe that the Vedanta has given the formation of the flag pattern and it has given the breakout today with the decent volumes. I believe if its stock manages to maintain such kind of a positive closing above 460 and so levels, the upside rally gets open towards to 480 then 500 levels. So up to that levels, I'm looking a positive momentum on these particular stocks. So you may hold the long positions by maintaining a strict stop loss of a 440 for immediate target of 480 to 500 levels on high side.
480 to 500 levels for Vedanta. And by the way, certain statements being made by Anil Agarwal in his letter to shareholders as well. The prospects, according to him, and he's obviously best placed to talk about it, are looking good for this company and the entities that will split from this company. Shrikant is calling us from Chennai and he's got a question for us. Hi Shrikant, how can we help you today?
Hi madam, my name is Shrikant. Madam, in the IT sector, mid-cap stocks, pocket of such stocks, madam, recommendations.
Okay, recommendations. So you don't specifically want to know...
IT mid-cap stocks.
Yeah, but you don't specifically want to know about Orient Tech, is it? You want to know about mid-cap stocks?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right. Astha, the question is for you then. Where do you see opportunities in the mid-cap IT space?
So first of all, I would like to say that better to wait for the results to get released and then make entry into this counter. But even if anyone want to select, then persistent system as of now seems to be quite okay in that space. So I would like to go with the persistent system. Even today also, it is up by 1%. So I think this is a safer place to invest the money in. Rest, I think it's better to get the results come and then make an entry into this space. Because we are expecting some sort of, not very strong performance on the financial results wise in Q4 of FY25. So idea here is to wait. And if anyone want to choose, then persistent system is looking good for us.
All right, so that's the view with respect to persistent systems. The next counter that we're talking about is ABB. Mahalakshmi from Hyderabad is holding 78 shares at an average price of 5530, and she's been accumulating this since November 2022. She's sitting on a loss right now of around 14,000 odd rupees, and she wants to add further, and she wants to add 100 more shares, and she wants to know whether this is the correct approach. Astha, I'll stick with you because she's been accumulating it since long. What's the view like for ABB India?
So, ABB is looking good to us. They have got a very strong pipeline, especially from the railway power segment. So that seems to be very strong to us. And in fact, the performance is also very good. And what we are believing that now the government will also, there will be a push from the government in the sector. So definitely it will help the company. So all in all, looking good to us. I think it's better to stay invested in this counter with a price target of 5,700 to 5,800 at the initial level, and buy on dip strategy can also be applied to this counter.
All right. So that's the view on ABB. The stock is up 3% at this juncture. Let's go to the next caller. We've got Mugdal calling us from New Delhi. Hi, Mugdal. How can we help you today?
Good morning and thanks for my call. Sir, I have 20 share of Rights Company.
Right.
That's a railway. So my rate is 258.
Okay.
So what to do? Can I sell it or hold it?
Okay. What is the time frame that you have in mind, Mugdal?
Approximate 6 months to 1 year.
6 months to 1 year. Okay. So positive development coming in for the company today. Of course, you must have watched it. If you were watching NDTV Profit, you would have seen it in the morning. We talked about it, the fact that the company has revised upwards its order value to about $10+ million, and the stock is up in about as much as 3% today. But since your question is for the shorter term, that is 6 months, Swati, I'm going to come to you on the charts. What is the upside potential at this juncture?
Yeah, Alex, the overall view is little bit cautious to negative only because the stock is continuously falling down and it's trading in the formations of the low top, slow bottom formations. As of now, it is stuck within the range of 215 to 205 levels on the downside. A breakout on either side will decide the clear trend of the particular counter. But looking towards the price momentum, I believe whatever the rally we are witnessing on the higher side, it's short-lived because the counter is facing a very strong resistance of 230 levels, 225 levels on the higher side. Unless and until it doesn't give a breakout of that level, the trend will not get reversal. I will suggest to wait on for some period of time. I believe that the downside is more there into this particular counter, which might take a stocks towards to 190 to 185 level. So those level will a very strong foundation level for this particular stock, and the risk reward ratio will be also favorable. So I will suggest to buy on deep strategy shall be applied if the stock takes a support at around 185 to 190 level. But at the current level, you can hold your long positions, but not to accumulate further at the current market price.
Okay. There's an important story that has come to our reporters' attention. It has to do with the Unified Payment Interface, or UPI. You are probably using this on an ongoing basis, and you may not be aware of all of the functionality, but essentially when it comes to these transactions, there is both a push factor as well as a pull factor. So push factor is when, of course, you either scan a QR code or you have somebody's contact or their UPI ID and you send money across. A pull transaction is where they can request money from you. Now the NPCI, which is the body that is taking care of UPI, that is regulating UPI, is going to come in with an elimination of the pull factor. And Subhana is here to tell you why they are doing this. Subhana, hi. What are the details here?
Hi, good morning, Alex. So yes, the NPCI is actually said to have been in early discussions with bankers to eliminate the pull transactions via UPI. Now, why they're doing is, why they're coming up with this move is because they want to curb the rise in digital fraud transactions that are happening, at a rapid pace. So what they're trying to do is that they're trying to bring down, the pull transactions, and they're trying to push up the push transactions. What bankers are also telling us that this could bring in some ease of, bring down the ease of UPI payments, like how you and I could, easily make payments online through these links when a merchant sends us a link. But it could also, in an overall, in the long run, could bring down the propensity of such digital frauds. Now, for a long time we have seen that as India is becoming digitized, there are a lot of digital frauds that are happening. So in order to curb this, they've come out with, they're planning to eliminate the pull transaction, and while the implementation of this move is yet to be known, but the talks have begun.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us, Subhan. In fact, a lot of recent updates coming in from NPCI, especially with regards to UPI. There was a recent update where NPCI is also in talks to kind of bring PF withdrawal via UPI and via ATM as well. So significant updates coming in from there. Moving on to the next counter that we're talking about is Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Nidhi from Ambala is asking, she's holding 1,000 shares bought at 54 a piece and she wants to exit and buy some other banking stock. Can you guide us to which share to buy? And this, she has a 6 months horizon. So Swati, I'll come to you. What banking counter is looking attractive on the charts right now?
Yeah, on the banking side, I will go for the larger banks such as the ICICI Bank and the Axis Bank. Those banks really looks very attractive on the technical spun. But I will not suggest to book your losses into the Ujjivan because already you have bought at a very elevated levels and currently the counter is sitting at a very lower side as of now. We are likely to witness a positive momentum in the near term, which might take a stocks towards to 40 to 42 levels. Up to that level, you can hold on. So sell on rise strategy should be applied. But if you want to take any fresh long positions into the banking counters, HDFC, Axis Bank and ICICI Bank, those are the counter really looks very strong on the technical setups.
So very quickly, because you've already spoken about this, Swati, I just want to reiterate, we've got a separate question on Vedanta. Dinesh from Gurgaon is already holding at levels of 405 and he wants a fresh entry point for 3 months time horizon. What would it be?
See, Vedanta is really doing very well on the technical front. Stock is well placed above all the important moving averages, say the 50, 100 and 200 DMA as well. As I earlier also pointed out that the stock has given the breakout of the flag pattern and I believe that this rally is likely to be extended towards to 480 target. So at the current market price also you can take a long positions at least 30 to 40%. If you're getting any deeps towards to 440, you can add on. I'm looking for a target of 480 and beyond that 500 levels can be tested. So it's a positive view from my end.
Positive on Vedanta. Shravan Kumar is calling us from Andhra Pradesh. Hi Shravan, how can we help you today?
Hi Alex.
Please go ahead.
So I'm planning to invest almost 3 lakh rupees into a care and heat exchange or Joggle prepared. Either of the two stocks I am planning to. Is it a right time to invest?
Okay, and what is the time horizon?
Do I need to wait for the correction? Almost 1 year horizon I am looking for.
Okay, all right. So the two very different companies, KRN Heat Exchange, by the way, was spoke to us not too long back. Asta, between Zaggle and KRN Heat Exchange, which would you pick?
For sure, KRN. First of all, the IPO came back in September and it was at around the issue price of 220. So see what a jump we have seen despite such a volatile market conditions from 220 to 800 odd levels. This issue has made really wonders. And in fact, the results which came in after issue also, there was a 70% rise in the bottom line. That makes it an attractive counter as of now also. And the industry in which this company is working, because they are working into the heat exchangers, etc., and that is heat ventilation products. So I think this industry in itself is a great demand, and I think definitely this counter is good to go for a long run. So invest in this counter with a price target of 1,050.
Electra Green is the next counter that we're talking about, and we've got Dasarathi who's writing in and asking whether they can hold 1,350 is the buy price. Swati, on the charts?
Yes, Alex, you can definitely hold these long positions because the counter is trading nearby the oversold zone and it's showing a positive divergence on the RS as well. I believe that this momentum rally can be seen up to 1160 and then beyond that level 1240 can be seen. So even the interesting fact that it has formed a double bottom nearby 1010 levels. So by keeping that as a support levels, I believe yes, we can see some positive momentums and you can hold on your long position for immediate target of 1240.
Okay, hold with a price target of 1240. It is time now to hit the rapid fire segment, and ladies, you know what this means. We'll toss as many questions as we can over a span of 2 minutes at you. Do keep your answers rather as concise as you possibly can. Kanan from Chennai is asking the first question, asking about fintech companies specifically. He's not mentioned any, but ask there any standout. Would you buy, for example, a Paytm right now?
So fintech, PV fintech, are looking good to us in the shorter term.
Okay.
So that company can be looked upon.
Okay.
Yes.
Jitendra from Udaipur is asking about Tata Motors. He's bought an average price of 443, quite an attractive price even at the current market, right? So Swati, on the charts, would you buy more, hold?
Yes, buy can be recommended at the current price. I am looking for a target of 730 to 740. So it's a hold from my end.
Okay, Vishal Megamart, 113 is the buy price. Short-term target is being sought. I do not know the viewer's name. Surendra wants to know. Swati?
I will suggest to hold on your long position since the counter is very nearby, trading nearby support level of 95. I'm looking for a target of 115 to 120. So it's hold from my end.
Okay, Bharat from Trishur wants to know, Bharat Dynamics, would you hold for a period of 5 years, long term? Asta?
Definitely a hold from our side, although initial price target can be set at around 1250 to 1300.
Shyam from Andhra Pradesh has bought PFC recently, 600 quantity at a price of 390 rupees. Is this a good stock to hold for the short term, Swati?
Yes, it's a good stock to hold on. I'm looking for a target of 420 to 430. Downside, it has a crucial support at 385. So by maintaining that stop loss, you can hold the long position.
Okay. Shortlisted Mankind Pharma is Satyan, and he's wondering whether to book losses in Poonawalla FinCorp and shift to Mankind Pharma. Asta, any view?
I think it's better to wait for some more time in the Poonawalla FinCorp because we are expecting this counter to show some positive upside from here. So the losses can be trimmed if he continues holding in this Poonawalla FinCorp as of now.
Okay, Utkarsh Small Finance Bank, considerable quantity bought. Would you hold on? I think the price is 30. Asta?
Yes, Utkarsh Small Finance Bank is a hold from our side. Price target can be set at 23 to 24.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of the rapid fire segment and indeed on Ask Profit today. Asta, Swati, it's been an absolute pleasure as always having you on the program. Thanks so much for joining in. All right, and from Mahima and myself and the team that put this show together, no more bad jokes, I promise, at least from my end. I don't know about Mahima, but thanks so much. She doesn't do bad jokes. All right, that brings us to the end of Ask Profit. Thanks so much for watching. Do stay tuned. Lots more on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit Conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breathing also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
Hello and welcome to KYC. This is a show designed to give the regular investor powerful, actionable insights into single NSE listed companies. And today we're going to deal over the next half hour with Mass Financial. It's around a 4,500 crore market cap company. It's an NBFC and an interesting one, to say the least. I'll start off with what the company does. It's a non-deposit taking NBFC registered with the RBI. This means that a lot of the funds that the NBFC garners is from borrowing. It can be bank borrowing, it can be borrowing through debentures and other securities. But that's largely how it funds its capital, equity and borrowing. And through that, it lends. So it's engaged in offering retail financing products and retail financing products. I'm going to try to break that down further. So some of the products that it offers, one is the micro enterprise loan. It's a loan of up to 10 lakh rupees to small, extremely small, as the name suggests, micro enterprises. Largely includes retailers and traders. So 10 lakh odd is the kind of ticket size that it looks like. Then is the SME loan, which is to slightly larger companies. And these two baskets comprise the largest chunk in terms of the loan mix, which we will come to. But 5 crore rupees odd is the ticket size for that one, SME loans. And that is given to manufacturers, dealers, service providers, and the like. So those are all your SMEs. Which garner all of those loans. Then there is CV loans, up to 15 lakh rupees for new and used CV, which is commercial vehicles. Then there's two-wheelers, which is given to farmers as well as salaried individuals, and these are smaller ticket. And then there is salaried personal loans. Now this is the interesting one, because 10 lakh rupees is the personal, up to 10 lakh rupees is the quantum up to which salaried personal loans are given out by this NBFC. Last off is home loans, and this is of course purchase of both new as well as old houses where they enable it through home loans. So that's broadly the mix. Now let's talk about the loan mix, and there you go. You'll see 40% to micro enterprises, 36.5% to SME. So 76.5% of the loans, which is 3/4 of the loans, go for business purposes, but to the small trader as well as to the small manufacturer. So that's what the target cohort is. Two-wheelers, salaried personnel, commercial vehicles, those are some of the other loans that they do, largely comprising the rest. That's how the loan mix is essentially shaping up for this one. Let's look at the growth though, because that's where it starts to get interesting. Salaried personal loans on a low base has grown at 69% YOY. CV has grown at 46%, SME at 24%, and then you have two-wheelers at 21% and micro enterprises just about 9% growth, 8 odd. So therefore, that's how the loan growth is really shaping up. So the largest chunk, which is 3/4 of the loan base, is growing at just about a 10% kind of a growth clip. That's net the point I'm trying to make here. How are they spread out? 13 states is what they are covering, 14,000 locations. They have NBFC partnerships, around 191 partnerships is what they've established, and they have 202 branches. This is broadly the way in which they are spread out. They haven't given numbers with regard to how many customers they have, etc., and how quickly the customer growth seems to be clocking. And some of those questions we'll obviously ask and quiz management and try and get a perspective as to how quickly that growth is and what are their plans going forward. So that's how it is. Now let's talk about metrics, because for each company we try and assess the company on the basis of certain financial metrics that the company has clocked. And this is what we're going to look at when it comes to this particular company. Income statement, balance sheet, operational metrics. Operational metrics are largely return ratios and the like. Asset quality is the other piece that we look for, and that's of course including your NPA ratios and how those have shaped up over cycles. Shareholding pattern, whether the promoter does have skin in the game, and if so, how much. Street cred, how the stock has performed over the last 3 to 5 years. And we also look at street coverage. Is it well covered by the analyst community, and valuations. Therefore, trying to give you a full summary on whether you should invest, should not invest, and everything with regard to this company. Let's start off with the income statement. It's an interesting one, but mind you, it's a small base that they are operating on. 336 crore was the FY22 net interest income number. That's gone up to around 610 crore in FY24. So it's a healthy kind of a growth, no doubt about it. In the 2 to 2.5 years, it's grown at 30 to 35% on the NII front. Of course, this year you're seeing some bit of tailwind with regard, or headwind with regard to margins, because your cost of borrowing has gone up given that the repo is higher, and therefore they need to therefore have higher service costs with regard to their borrowings. But you look at the profit after tax trends, right? The PAT has largely gone up by 25% YOY. Now, the only reason why I give this a neutral, if at all, is two reasons. One, your provisioning has gone up in comparison to FY22 at 34 crore. Provisioning currently is roughly 90 crore, and in fact, even for the 9-month period, the provisioning is more than 80 crore for the 9 months FY25. So your provisions number has seen a bit of a spike. The other piece is with regard to profit after tax. So while your ROA number is fairly healthy, the profit after tax has grown at 25% YOY. Now for a company of this size, ideally growth should be stronger, and therefore the neutral rating here. Nothing bad about the growth numbers whatsoever, but if you have a smaller base, should you grow faster is really the question here. Now, in terms of the balance sheet as well, the AUM growth, which largely talks about the way in which your lending happens, the rate at which lending has happened. Look at the trend and look at the way in which it's gone about. It was at 6,000 crore in FY20. It dipped to 5,372 crore in FY21 because of the COVID year, understandably. Thereafter, it's just about doubled. So from FY20, it's doubled over a 6-year period to FY25. And therefore, would you say that it's a very, very healthy growth? Not really, given the kind of base that it has. And therefore, a neutral rating on this one. let's look at some of the other metrics as well. The borrowing number. The borrowing number has gone from 3,100 crore to 7,000 odd crore. So it's gone up nearly 2.5x. Equity also has gone up in healthy proportion, nearly doubled. And this is cumulative equity shareholders funds. It includes both the profit element as well as your securities premium. And what we are seeing in 9 months FY25 is a fresh fundraise as well getting factored in to that profit number, which gets added to your equity shareholders fund. So that's what you're seeing, and that's why you're seeing that spike. But other than that, it's a fairly steady kind of journey. If there's a positive to be taken out of this, the equity journey has been extremely steady. Book value has been continuously growing year after year, no matter what. Even in the COVID first wave, even in the COVID second wave, we've seen regular increases and regular profitability being clocked by this company, and that's what's really standing out. Capital adequacy is standing at 25.34% after the equity raise which happened earlier this year. June 2024, earlier this financial year is when the equity raise had happened. It was through a QIP, a 500 crore equity raise had taken place. Now, so that's the first two metrics, the income statement and the balance sheet. That's how it stacks up. In terms of how is the operational metrics stacking up, and this is where it starts to get tricky because very, very healthy numbers overall. Let's look at the ROA number, the return on assets largely indicating your profitability versus your overall assets. And therefore, that number is being quite range bound in that sense, between 2.7 to 2.9%. Again, very healthy overall in terms of your ROA. And a steady ROA, I would say. More importantly, it's a very steady kind of ROA number. They're not fluctuating too much when it comes to ROA. Over the last few years, that's the trend that's playing out. This company got listed in 2017, by the way, and it's not given phenomenal returns, but the ROA numbers have been extremely steady since that point. So credit there. The borrowing cost has largely been controlled. It's a sub 10% kind of borrowing cost that they even currently continue to operate with. So that's the way in which borrowing cost is evolving. Mind you, some of the best NBFCs, talk about a Bajaj Finance, they have a sub 8% borrowing cost. So sub 10% for something like an NBFC which has just about a 10,000 crore AUM, not bad at all. Last off is your cost to income. Your cost to income has gone up and in a very steady fashion. From 27.3% in FY22, it rose to 31.5% to now 32.7%. Now, I am beginning to wonder whether there is still scope for a further increase in the cost to income. And if that were to happen, you may well see profit compounding happen at a slower rate than the AUM compounding. So that's one thing that you may want to look out for. Okay, now let's move on quickly to the asset quality, and this is again where this one stands out. You look at the numbers for the last